Well, Neil and Jessica, what you'll see behind me are walls up and almost a completely functional set, which was a completely different story just a few hours ago. But volunteers have been hard at work picking up the pieces after Sunday's storm. Some of that damage you're going to see in this story. Daniel, if you just look right behind me, I really think this scene is doing all the talking. Clearly, there was a powerful storm that blew through here, knocking down good-sized trees and putting debris all over the roads. President Trump says the suspect who breached White House security Friday night was disturbed. The intruder made his way to the south entrance to the executive residence before he was arrested. Mr. Trump spoke about the incident on Saturday. You got it, Brian. At 5 o'clock, I was out here drenched, so it's definitely been slowing down a little bit. I'm still seeing some lightning and hearing the thunder, though, so there is still a little bit of a presence. Now, if you go ahead and take a look behind me, I'm out here at the South Loop. For the holiday season, more than 200,000 turkeys will be prepped right here and packaged, then sent to homes across the country. A Longview house is heavily damaged today by a fire. Around 2:30 this morning, the Longview Fire Department responded to a fire in the 1200 block on Webster Street. The crew found one bedroom fully involved in fire where officials believe the fire started. The attic was also on fire and the rest of the house has smoke and heat damage. The family was out of town and fortunately there were no injuries. Well, Daniel, Camp Fannin turned 74 years old this year. This is a site where soldiers came to train before fighting in World War II. Neil and Jessica, it could be a great day out by the poolside, children laughing, playing, having a good time. But that family fun day could quickly turn into one of your worst in a matter of seconds. Since Lake Port Lucie doesn't have a home, the community has brought a home to her. One customer dropping off this doghouse with some hay to keep Lucie warm, and then one customer stops by almost every morning to refill the water and food and gives Lucie a bone. Federal officials warned Friday that ISIS poses a threat to churches and other holiday gatherings. This comes after pro-ISIS websites published a publicly available list of churches in the U.S. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security issued the warning out of an abundance of caution. As of this time, there are no known specific or credible threats. Because of the decrease in local sales tax revenue, the city has been under a hiring freeze. We're going to look more in depth on that and see how it's affecting the city internally tomorrow night. President-elect Donald Trump is expected to nominate campaign advisor David Friedman to serve as the U.S. ambassador to Israel. Friedman supports Mr. Trump's campaign promise to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Well, Caroline, it's called the Second Chance Program, and right through these doors, 2 women are getting brand new teeth absolutely for free. And when they come out, they will have a brand new smile. So, Scott, we've been seeing Santa do his thing up there, but I'm worried about Rudolph. Is he going to be able to see and lead the way?
Oh yeah. Rudolph's nose is just so bright.
There you go. Thank you, Scott, and thank you for watching KETK's Live at 5. We'll see you back here at 10. Merry Christmas Eve. Regulars say this is the fishing spot to come to, whether you're with your family, friends, or just out looking for a bite.
KETK's Kara Rucker visited the palace today and found out just how much of the country's salt actually comes out of Grand Saline.
Grand Saline is home to one of the most pure salt mines in the country, with their name Grand Saline even meaning big salt.
To us, it means home. Everything, our parents, my father worked at Morton Salt for 42 years, as did uncles, and it's a very much ingrained part of our upbringing.
They're one of 9 mining sites for Morton Salt. 22 tons of table salt is produced every hour in Grand Saline. The salt mine goes down as far as 20,000 feet, but because salt is so dense, miners have only gone about 700 feet deep.
There's enough salt there to supply the needs of the United States and probably North America and possibly the world for many, many years.
And if you buy a pretzel from any mall in the United States, well, the rock salt on it comes from Grand Saline.
Salt is a necessary nutrient for all animals and man. The fact that it's a necessary nutrient is what gives it its value.
A museum keeper says working at the Salt Palace is a dream job. About every month they get about 500 tourists from all over the world.
I love to ask them, how did you pick us? Out of everything in the United States, how did we get on your schedule? Because we've heard about you and we wanted to see it.
The Salt Palace Museum is looking to expand the exhibit within the next year and a half, moving to a 2-story building downtown. Kara Rucker, KETK News. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Fox 44 News at 9. I'm Kara Rucker. Daniel Pierce has the night off. A 4-year-old girl is dead and 3 people hospitalized after a 6-vehicle crash Saturday afternoon. It happened on I-35 State Highway south of FM 308 north of Waco. According to troopers, an RV crashed into numerous vehicles during heavy traffic. The child was in the SUV that was struck in the rear. The SUV's driver and 2 other passengers were taken to the hospital. No one else was hurt. 2 construction workers are recovering from their injuries after police say an intoxicated driver hit them. This happened yesterday afternoon in College Station at the intersection of Raymond Stotzer and Harvey Mitchell Parkway. Police say 22-year-old James Salinas hit a construction vehicle and 2 workers. They were taken to the hospital, but Salinas was not hurt. An overnight worker at a gas station was shot and killed during an armed robbery. After a 2-day manhunt, 2 suspects have been arrested, one found in Smith County, the other in Dallas. And after a press conference held this afternoon by Smith County Sheriff Larry Smith, we've learned that there is a 3rd suspect being questioned in custody. 32-year-old LaMarcus Hanna and 36-year-old Damian Mosley are likely to face capital murder charges in the deadly convenience store aggravated robbery.
The way I've always thought in my nearly 40 years of law enforcement, when you get capital murder on somebody, it don't get any better than that.
Surveillance footage shows one of the men entering the Conoco gas station off Loop 323 around 3:30 Saturday morning. The man can be seen jumping over the counter, pulling out a gun and demanding money. Smith County law enforcement says 62-year-old Billy Stack was shot twice, at least once in the head, and later pronounced dead. The suspect then runs off. When officers arrived to the scene, they saw a car leaving the area. That's when a high-speed chase began, and both suspects would get away, but only for a short time. 3 suspects are now in custody, and new information from Smith County Sheriff shows they're wanted for several burglaries around the Tyler area.
But when you have the evidence that lines up against them, and they keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, finally it goes in our favor, and we get a break. And I tell you, all these detectives here at the Smith County Sheriff's Office need is just a little break.
Hanna was arrested in Smith County Saturday night, while Mosley was caught Sunday afternoon in Dallas, then transported back to Smith County.
We've had some huge investigations going on like this that we've been very successful. And I'll tell you, look, Major Black over there tell you it's not all us, it's God.
Both suspects have previous records of theft and robbery in Smith County. They each have a bond set at $1 million. Yeah, and Marcus, I can tell that the weather's kind of going up in degrees for temperature, which is good news for spring breakers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to enjoy it toward the end of the week.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you for watching, and be sure to stick around for Crunch Time with Garrett Sanders.